Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today I'm going to talk about the best equipment setup for new DSLR video shooters. So if you're somebody who's new to DSLR video, you're going to be an indie filmmaker, or you're going to be a YouTube creator, or you're going to start doing video marketing for your small business, there are a lot of things that you need to consider, and I'm going to help you figure out what the best equipment setup for you is for just getting started. Now I'm going to preface this with assuming that you have a budget that's under $1,000. If you have more, that's great, and I'll still have some wonderful recommendations for you in the description below, but let's really focus on the bare minimums here and what you should be doing when you first get started, that you can go in low investment and you can really make your money back or feel very comfortable with what you have. The good news is you won't have to break the bank just to buy the camera. You can buy a great DSLR video camera by getting one of the entry-level Nikon or Canon bodies for under $500. In fact, if you want to get the same type of camera that I'm using for these videos, which produces this kind of video quality, then you can get the Nikon D3300 or D3200 for around $300 right now, sometimes with a kit lens. So you're already off to the races and you haven't even spent $500 yet, which is tremendous. Don't underestimate the power of the kit lens when you're doing DSLR video. A lot of photographers are more likely to buy higher end glass, and as you evolve as a video shooter, that's going to be helpful to you, I'm not gonna lie, especially in low light situations. But if you're gonna go ahead and use a lighting setup like the one that I have here, then you don't necessarily have to go that far. You can go ahead and use a basic camera body, a kit lens, and be fine in terms of video quality because you see what this has produced. It's full HD video and it looks pretty crisp and sharp. The issue will be whether or not you want to do depth of field, which is the blurry background and film effect, which if you are going to be doing some marketing or some filmmaking videos, there might be situations where you need to do that, but that's okay. You can buy either a 35 or 50 millimeter lens for around $200, $250 brand new. Obviously, if you buy it used or refurbished, it will cost less. But for, again, still around $500 of our budget, we've got great glass now that can shoot in low light situations and can create the artistic style that we're looking for. And we have a decent, easy to use camera body that can shoot full HD video. So that's super important. The next thing you need to think about is the audio quality. Audio quality is super important. The audio in this video is actually pretty good because I'm using a Sony lapel microphone that I've hidden out of frame. This microphone was only about $25 or $30. I'll have links to everything I'm talking about here in the description below, but that actually works out really well as far as an affordable audio solution. So if this type of audio is what you're looking for, that's how much it costs. While I know a lot of people prefer to use a digital recorder and to use a clapper and to sync their audio up to their video, it's just something I'm not a fan of because I prioritize speed and a lack of complications. And if that's who you are, then I highly recommend just plugging a microphone directly into the camera and getting the sound and the video all in one file. So we've covered lenses. We've covered a little bit of the audio gear that you'll need. If you're shooting outdoors, you might want to get a boom microphone. You might want to get something like the Rode VideoMic Go or the Rode VideoMic Pro. This could be $80 to $100, but if you need something a little cheaper, you can use the Taxar microphone that is in the description. I've used that before and it's worked out great for me at conferences. You could also use the ATR, I think 6500 from Audio Technica, and I've used that in the past and that's worked out well for me as well. So again, these are solutions that are a little bit more affordable, so maybe you spend about another $100 in audio equipment and you've got your audio setup covered. So we've covered audio, we've covered the camera body, we've covered the lenses, and we're still within about maybe $500, $600 of our spending. We still got $400 to $300 to go, so that's not bad at all. What else can you do? Well, we need lights. Lights are super important. And the lighting kit that I'm using to get this video quality didn't break the bank. It was an SP lighting kit from Square Perfect. It does about 2000 Kelvin and it's really good. It has 5 bulbs as far as spider lights on each head, and I can control them with switches, and so that was about $130. I also just started using a ring light from Newer that is actually helping, just add a little bit more and take some shadows off my face, and I think the quality is improved from that. So I would recommend it, and that only cost about $35, $40. So for about $150, you can get excellent lighting, and we still have some of our budget left over to invest in tripods, shoulder mounts, things like that that are going to help keep our footage steady which is also very important. Now, if you're on a super tight budget with lights and you feel like you can get away with it, I have something you can use. You can get another piece of equipment from Newer, and these are their 160 watt LED panels. These are super small, so if you're traveling or you're on the go or you don't have a lot of room to store things, this could be great. You get some stands for about maybe 10 or 15 bucks from Cowboy Studios or whoever, and these lights are about $25, $30 a piece. So for under $40 each, you could get these very portable, very small footprint lights. They do chew up batteries though, so be cognitive of that, but they're another great solution. So again, under 100 bucks for lighting that way, if you need 2 of them. Let's move on to stabilization gear. If you're shooting indoors and you have the same setup all the time, you don't have to invest a lot in a tripod. You can go ahead and get a $30 aluminum tripod and it'll work out just fine for you. But if you've been following the recommendations up until now, we still have another good $150 to $200 in our budget. So if we want something a little bit more robust, you can get a really good steady heavy duty tripod from Fancier Studios for about $130. There are some affordable Manfrotto solutions out there if you prefer that. I would recommend that you consider possibly even getting a travel tripod, just depending on your situation, and you can get those from MePhoto for about $100. You could also get a newer tripod that's also a monopod that I've been looking at as a potential travel solution, and it's about maybe $75. So you could save a few bucks there, and you get 2 pieces of equipment for the price of 1, and it's travel friendly. So those are options for you. If you got a little bit of money left over, a Joby spider rig could be very convenient for shooting in very specific situations where you might want to wrap your camera around a tree or clamp it to something. That could be convenient, and you can get that, the Joby Gorillapod, for about $35. Great value. I actually own one, and it is really good in a clutch where you have very specific things that you're trying to do. You'd also get a Fancier Studios shoulder rig very affordably. Links are in the description for all this stuff, but you can get one of those for around 50 bucks. And if you want to run it and gun it, that could be very helpful. I use a more expensive one that I did a review here on the channel, and you know, it works out for me for what my needs are. That might be a little bit much for you. You just have to do what's right for your situation. But this is the best equipment setup that I can recommend for a first-time video shooter, and it costs you a lot less now than when I started out. So we covered lights, we covered your camera body, your camera lenses, stabilization gear like tripods and shoulder rigs. We covered microphones and audio solutions. So you should be really good to go here. The last thing I'm going to talk about very briefly is video editing software, and you got to use what you're comfortable with and what you can learn. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. That might not be the right answer for you. You might want to use Final Cut or even iMovie. I'm going to recommend a couple of budget solutions for you though. I don't really prefer to use free software. I just feel like if you're going to spend money on equipment, you might as well spend money on the editing to just get the most out of it. And so I would recommend Corel Video Editor if you're on Windows, and if you're on a Mac or a PC, you can get Photoshop Premiere Elements. Both of these are around 75 bucks. They're tremendous solutions that will help you get professional grade results without being overwhelmed by a complicated application. So that is the best video equipment setup for beginner DSLR video shooters that I recommend. And again, links to everything are in the description below. Those help me out, and they also help you out. Well, I hope that answered the majority of the questions you have, but if it didn't, feel free to leave me some in the comment section. I will try and answer as many of them as I can. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. In fact, share it with a friend that you think it might help. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.